All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into Make.com,
Hmm.
and we're basing this deep dive on a review
Okay.
called Make.com Review, the tool holding my business together.
Nice.
Now, this isn't just like a surface-level overview.
Right.
It's an in-depth personal review from a freelancer named LAZ,
I see.
and they really put these tools through their paces.
Yeah, LAZ's journey is actually pretty interesting because they started with Zapier, which I think a lot of people listening are familiar with.
Yeah, for sure.
But then they moved on seeking, more flexibility and power
Right.
without breaking the bank.
Yeah, especially like in the early stages of their business.
Exactly.
So LAZ, I was super impressed with Make.com's ability to connect a ton of different platforms.
Yeah, that's one of its big strengths.
Like they literally said it has endless apps.
Endless apps. I love that.
It's a pretty bold statement.
It is, but when you see it visually, it's kind of true.
I know.
There are just so many integrations available.
Now, before we get too excited, LAZ, it does mention there's a learning curve.
Right, it's not exactly drag and drop and you're done.
Yeah.
It's more like Zapier is driving an automatic.
Okay.
And Make.com is like driving stick.
Interesting analogy.
You get more control with Make.com, but you got to put in the work to learn it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's get into why LAZ, I thinks Make.com is such a game changer.
Okay, let's do it.
They talk about the versatility and value for money.
Absolutely.
They love the interface
Yeah.
and say the community support is strong.
Yeah. Make.com's community is really active and helpful, which is a huge plus.
Now, they do mention some potential downsides like the credit system.
Right, the credit system, it's generally affordable,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're running a large operation or have really complex workflows,
Right.
those credits can add up.
It's like a fuel gauge.
Yeah,
You've
exactly.
got to keep an eye on it.
And then there's the whole reliance on third-party platforms.
Right.
Which means if those platforms go down,
Oh,
your Make.com workflows could be impacted.
it's like a chain reaction.
Exactly. LAZI acknowledges that Make.com is only as good as the services it connects to.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the different pricing plans.
Okay, so LAZI breaks down each plan and what they're good for.
Right.
The free plan seems decent if you just want to test things out,
Yeah. Kick the tires.
but LAZI is a big fan of the core plan,
The core plan.
especially for individual online businesses and freelancers.
What makes the core plan so special?
Well, it seems to be that sweet spot between affordability and functionality.
Okay. I like that.
You get a ton more features and operation minutes than the free plan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still reasonably priced, especially considering how much time it can save you.
Right. LAZI guy calls Make.com the backbone of their business.
Yeah, and they actually back that up with real-world examples.
Okay, let's hear it.
They're automating social media posts.
Wow.
Managing inventory.
Uh-oh.
Even setting up a calorie calculator for a client's website.
A calorie calculator.
Oh.
That's super creative.
Right. It shows how versatile Make.com can be.
It's not just for like basic tasks.
Exactly. It can be used to build really unique and valuable tools.
So they're using it for both like internal stuff and client work.
Yeah, it seems to be a core part of their entire operation.
I'm really curious about that calorie calculator example.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like it shows Make.com isn't just for like, basic business stuff.
Right. It can be used to create really unique and valuable user experiences.
Like almost like little mini apps.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like about this review.
Hmm.
It goes beyond just listing features.
Right.
It shows how you can actually apply Make.com to solve real problems.
Okay, so let's break down a few of those use cases.
Okay.
The social media automation one was super interesting to me.
Yeah, automating social media can be a huge time saver.
Imagine being able to schedule all your posts across different platforms.
Like Instagram and X.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, all from a single Google Sheet.
And that's where the visual workflow builder really shines. You can literally see how the data flows from one step to the next.
Yeah.
So it's easy to understand and troubleshoot if something goes wrong.
And connecting Make.com to a Google Sheet opens up so many possibilities.
Oh, yeah, totally. You can use formulas and functions to create dynamic content,
Right.
schedule posts at the best times.
And even track your engagement metrics all in one place.
Exactly. It's super powerful.
Okay, so then there's the inventory management example.
Yeah, LAZ, I was able to connect their Squarespace site to a Google Sheet to automatically update their stock levels.
So no more manual data entry.
Exactly. A huge time saver.
I'm probably way less prone to errors.
Oh, absolutely. Manual data entry is like asking for mistakes.
Yeah.
Automating it ensures accuracy and consistency, which is so important for any business.
Especially e-commerce.
Yeah, you don't want to be selling things you don't actually have.
I'm curious about the learning curve, though.
Yeah, LAZI did mention that.
They said it took some time to get comfortable with Make.com.
Yeah, it's not the most intuitive platform to learn.
But they were eventually able to build pretty complex automations in just a few hours.
Right. Once you understand the logic, it becomes much easier.
So it's not like a plug-and-play solution.
Not really. There's definitely an investment required to learn it.
But it sounds like that investment can pay off big time.
Oh, yeah. If you're someone who works with a lot of different platforms and you're looking to automate repetitive tasks,
Right.
Make.com could be a game changer.
Almost like learning a new programming language.
Yeah, there's an initial hurdle.
But once you get over it,
You can build almost anything.
and luckily there are resources available to help you along the way.
Yeah, for sure. Make.com has a great community forum.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
People are always sharing tips and answering questions.
So it's not like you're totally on your own.
Not at all. There's a whole ecosystem of support.
But let's not forget about the potential downsides.
Right. The reliance on third-party services is a valid concern.
And the credit system.
Yeah. While it's generally affordable, it could become a factor for heavy users.
So it really comes down to weighing the benefits against the risks.
And deciding if Make.com is the right fit for your needs and budget.
Okay, so that brings us back to our listener.
Right. How do you know if Make.com is right for you?
What questions should they be asking themselves?
Well, I think LAZI's experience is a good starting point.
Okay.
If you work with a lot of different online platforms,
Yeah.
you're looking to streamline your workflow,
Mm-hmm.
and you're willing to invest some time learning a new tool,
Right.
then Make.com might be a perfect fit.
Especially if you want something more affordable and customizable than some of the other options out there.
Exactly. It's about finding the tool that helps you work smarter, not harder.
And LAZI's review suggests that Make.com could be that tool.
It's definitely worth considering.
But before we get too carried away,
Yeah.
let's take a step back and consider some alternative perspectives.
Good point. It's important to remember that LAZ's experience is just one perspective.
Right, not everyone will have the same experience.
Some people might find the learning curve too steep.
Or they might run into limitations with certain integrations.
Yeah, it's always good to do your research and see what other people are saying.
Plus, the automation landscape is constantly changing.
Oh, yeah. New tools and platforms are popping up all the time.
So it's important to stay informed and explore different options.
Absolutely. What works for one person might not work for another.
And what's cutting edge today might be outdated tomorrow.
The key is to be open to experimentation.
And to find the tools that best fit your needs and your workflow.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So even though LAZI makes a strong case for Make.com,
Right.
it's not the only game in town.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of technology.
There's always something new to discover.
Always something new to explore.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've explored the ins and outs of Make.com.
Based on LAZI's review.
We've looked at the pros and the cons.
And we've considered some alternative perspectives.
I feel like we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
Hopefully.
So where do we go from here?
Well, now it's up to our listeners to take this information and see how it applies to them.
Do they see themselves using Make.com?
Maybe?
Are there other tools they want to explore?
Who knows?
The possibilities are endless.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, it sounds like Make.com could be a real game changer.
For sure, especially for people who are tired of doing everything manually.
Right, or juggling a million different apps.
Totally. But as we said before, it's important to do your research.
Yeah, make sure it's actually a good fit for you.
LAZ's experience is a great starting point, but it's just one perspective.
Right, everyone's needs are different.
Exactly. And the cool thing about Make.com is that it's so adaptable.
So the best way to know if it's right for you
Is to just try it out.
And luckily, there's that free plan.
Yeah, the free plan is a great way to get a feel for the platform.
See if you like the interface.
Experiment with some basic automations.
And if you get stuck,
There's a whole community of Make.com users out there.
ready to help.
They're super helpful.
So to wrap things up,
Okay.
it seems like Make.com has a lot of potential. It
Definitely.
could be a powerful tool.
For anyone who wants to streamline their work
Free up more time.
and focus on the things that really matter.
That's a great point.
It's not just about automation for the sake of automation.
Right.
It's about finding tools and strategies.
That help you work smarter.
Not harder.
I love that.
And ultimately achieve your goals more effectively.
Well said.
Yeah.
So if you're intrigued by what you've heard today,
And you're ready to explore the world of automation.
we encourage you to check out Make.com.
See what it can do for you.
And if you do decide to give it a try,
Let us know how it goes.
we'd love to hear about your experiences.
Yeah, share your success stories.
All right, that's it for this deep dive.
Into the world of Make.com.
Thanks for joining us.
And until next time.
Happy automating!